Hello everyone. Today let us discuss about capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor with a dielectric slab. Earlier in video we have seen the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor without any dielectric or without any conducting slab between the plates. That was our another derivation which I have already explained in my previous video. So, in this video, let us talk about the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor with a dielectric slab in between the plates. So, let us start our discussion by looking at the picture. You can clearly see here, this is the picture of a parallel plate capacitor with dielectric slab in between the plates. Top plate has a positive charge plus Q. Bottom plate has a negative charge minus Q. In between, we have kept a dielectric. The dielectric has a thickness small t, and top plate has positive charge, bottom plate has negative charge. Therefore, electric field is always from positive to negative. Therefore, the arrows of the electric field, which is E naught, that is from upper portion to lower portion. Each plate has an area of A and the distance between the plates is small d. So this is the just an introduction about the parallel plate capacitor. Now we will go into depth of the subject. Each plate of the capacitor has an area capital A and the distance between the plates is d. Now if you see, when there was vacuum between the plates, we have derived the earlier video, we have derived in the earlier video, the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor was given by C is equal to epsilon naught A by D. Now we have kept a subscript C naught. We have kept a subscript for C, so it becomes a C naught because when there was nothing in between the plates. Therefore, we have taken C naught is equal to epsilon naught A by D. This is the derivation which we have done earlier. Now, let us assume that we insert a dielectric slab of thickness T between the plates of the capacitor where T is less than D. That means D is the distance between the plates and thickness of the slab is smaller than the distance between the plates. In other words, the dielectric slab is not completely occupying the place between the plates of the capacitor. The dielectric slab is not completely occupying the place between the plates of the capacitor. That is, we have shown as T is less than D. T is less than D. Now, as I told you earlier, initial charge on the plates of the capacitor is plus or minus Q. Upper plate has a charge plus Q, lower plate has a charge minus Q. Therefore, surface charge density sigma is equal to Q by A. For the upper plate, it is plus sigma, that is Q by A. For the lower plate, it is minus sigma, which is minus Q by A. Therefore, in general, we can say the surface charge density on the plates of the capacitor is plus or minus sigma, plus or minus sigma. So that is sigma is equal to Q by A. Now, therefore, let us let's take the electric field between the plates of the capacitor when it is uniform. We know because the charge is uniformly distributed, on the plates of the capacitor. Therefore, electric field between the plates of the capacitor is also uniform, Therefore, electric field E naught between the plates of the capacitor is sigma by epsilon naught. But we know sigma is equal to Q by A. Therefore, E naught is equal to Q by A epsilon naught. That is equation number 3. Sigma by epsilon naught. Sigma is equal to Q by A. Therefore, E naught is equal to Q by A epsilon naught. Let it be equation number 3. Now, after that, we are talking about the dielectric slab. We have studied about a dielectric slab. Whenever a dielectric slab is kept in between the external electric field, the dielectric gets polarized. The dielectric gets polarized. That means the molecules of the dielectric align themselves in a systematic way. All plus of the molecules will go to one side, all minus of the molecules will go to the other side. So this is called as polarization. That is the topic which we have studied in this chapter. Whenever a dielectric is kept in external electric field, the molecules will align themselves in a systematic way. All the positive charges will go to one side and all the negative charges will go to the other side. And finally, after we study about the dielectrics, we came to the conclusion that in between molecules, plus of one molecule is cancelled by the minus of other molecule. That means positive charge of one molecule is cancelled by the adjacent negative charge of the uh, another molecule. That means positive charge of one molecule is cancelled by the negative charge of the adjacent molecule. Therefore, finally, what remains is extreme sides. That is, in this case, if the dielectric is in the center of this particular capacitor, upper portion of the dielectric becomes negatively charged and the lower portion of the dielectric becomes positively charged. This is called as polarization. In this particular picture, towards the positive plate of the capacitor, dielectric is negatively charged, and towards the negative charge of the capacitor, dielectric is positively charged. That means towards the positive plate, dielectric got negative charge. Towards the negative plate of the capacitor, dielectric got positive charge. Now, the charge on the plates of the charge on the sides of the dielectric, let it be QP. So, let us assume the induced charge plus or minus QP on the surfaces of the dielectric. Plus QP is in the lower side of the dielectric, minus QP is on the upper side of the dielectric. Now plus QP is on at one surface and minus QP is on the other surface. Now plus or minus QP is the charge on the surfaces of the dielectric. Now after that, if you see, next, the induced charge plus or minus QP develops an electric field EP inside the dielectric in the opposite direction of E naught, that is the external field, the field which was initially between the plates. So, because of these charges on the surfaces of the dielectric, there is also an electric field developed inside the dielectric. So electric field direction is always from plus to minus, positive to negative. So in this case of dielectric, lower side of the dielectric is positively charged, upper side of the dielectric is negatively charged. Therefore EP means electric field due to polarization. EP has a direction from plus to minus, that is lower side to the upper side. Now you can clearly see in the picture, E naught is the electric field in the capacitor outside the dielectric. The direction of the E naught is from upper side to lower side. The direction of the EP is from lower side to the upper side. Both are in opposite directions. So, what we can learn from here is the polarized electric field. That means the electric field due to the polarization is always in a direction opposite to the external electric field. Now, we can see EP, that is electric field due to polarization, is equal to sigma p by epsilon naught, where sigma p is the polarization surface charge density, where sigma p is the polarization surface charge density. Therefore, electric field due to polarization EP is equal to sigma p by epsilon naught. That is equation number 4. But we know sigma p is equal to qp by A. Or we all know that surface charge density is equal to total charge divided by area. Sigma p is equal to qp by A. Let it be equation number 6. Therefore, substituting 4, uh, substituting in 4, we get EP is equal to QP by A epsilon naught. Substituting equation 5 in equation 4, substituting equation 5 in equation 4, we get EP is equal to QP by A epsilon naught. EP is equal to QP by A epsilon naught. Let it be equation number 6. Now, we know that E naught minus EP by E naught is equal to 1 by K. This is the study of the dielectrics. That is, resultant electric field inside the dielectric is E naught minus EP. When we were studying about the dielectrics, we have studied that the electric field which is developed inside the dielectric may not cancel the external electric field completely, but it reduces the external electric field. This is the point which we have studied in our previous discussion of dielectrics. So that is the electric field which is developed inside the dielectric, the electric field which is developed inside the dielectric may not completely cancel the external electric field, but it will reduce the external electric field. But it will reduce the external electric field. Therefore, resultant electric field E is equal to E naught minus EP. Resultant electric field E is equal to E naught minus EP. I just give you an example. Suppose if a person has a salary of 40,000 and if he has taken a loan of 5,000, the loan may not cancel the salary completely, but the loan will reduce the amount of salary. So 40,000 is the salary, 5,000 is the loan. Therefore, resultant salary he will get in hand is 40,000 minus 5,000, which is 35,000. Just for example, I have given this. This is nothing to do with our derivation, but I'm just giving you that example. Salary is in the positive direction, that is one direction. Loan is in the opposite direction, that is in the negative direction. Therefore, resultant salary is 40,000 minus 5,000, which is 35,000. Just I am giving you an example so that you will understand. Similarly, here E naught is the main electric field outside the dielectric. EP is the electric field which is in the opposite direction of the external electric field. Therefore, resultant electric field is E naught minus EP. But we know that E naught minus EP by E naught is equal to 1 by K. E naught minus EP by E naught is equal to 1 by K. That is equation number 7. Therefore, the net field inside the dielectric case E is equal to E naught minus EP. But from equation 7, E naught minus EP is equal to E naught by K. You can send the E naught of equation 7 to the right side. Then you will get E naught minus EP is equal to E naught by K. Therefore, the net electric field inside the dielectric case E is equal to E naught minus EP, that is equal to E naught by K, that is equation number 8, where K is the dielectric constant of the slab. Where K is the dielectric constant of the slab. Now, if you see, the field E is existing for a distance of small t only. That is for the thickness of the dielectric only. And the remaining space, how much it will be? D minus T. Because D is the distance between the plates. T is the thickness of the dielectric. So what will be the remaining place? Remaining place will be D minus T in the place between the plates of the capacitor where there is no dielectric, that place has a width of d minus t. So we can, in brief, what I want to tell you is the electric field E exists only inside the dielectric for a distance of t, and E naught exists for the remaining distance d minus t. Once again, I repeat, electric field capital E exists for a distance of T, that is thickness of the dielectric, and E naught exists for the remaining distance, that is D minus T. D minus T. Therefore, we can see clearly from the picture, E naught is between the place and E is only in the dielectric. Now we know the relationship between potential difference, electric field, and distance. We know that E is equal to V by D. We all know that E is equal to V by D. Therefore, V is equal to E into D. Potential is equal to electric field into distance. Now we have two electric fields. One is E naught, another is E. E naught is for a distance of d minus t, E is for a distance of t. Therefore, adding them together, the potential difference is equal to, actually the formula for potential difference, V is equal to E into D. E into D. E is the electric field, D is the distance. But now we have two types of electric fields. One electric field is E naught for a distance of d minus t. Another electric field is E for a distance of t. Therefore, we have to add both of them. V is equal to E naught into d minus t plus Et. E is V, that is potential difference, is equal to E naught into d minus t plus Et. Therefore, V is equal to E naught into d minus t plus E naught by k into t. This is from our previous equation, that is equation number 8. You can see here E is equal to E naught by k. E is equal to E naught by k. This value we have substituted there. We'll go to the next slide. We will go to the next slide. So you can see here. Here, V is equal to E naught into d minus t plus Et. V is equal to E naught into d minus t. Here in place of E, we have substituted E naught by k. E naught by k. So now here in this place, that is in the place of dielectric, we have an electric field of E. Outside, that is here it is E naught and here it is E naught. E naught is for a distance of d minus t and E is for a distance of t. E is for a distance of t. So therefore, potential V is equal to E naught into d minus t plus Et. V is equal to E naught into d minus t plus E naught by k, because we have already seen that E naught by k into t. Therefore, take E naught common out. Therefore, E naught is equal to d minus t plus t by k. Let it be equation number 9. Let it be equation number 9. Therefore, V is equal to Q by epsilon naught A d minus t plus t by k. This is from equation number 3. So earlier our equation number 3 was there. I'll go back to that slide. So here you can see E naught is equal to Q by A epsilon naught. E naught is equal to Q by A epsilon naught. This equation we have substituted here. In place of E naught, we have substituted Q by epsilon naught A and d minus t plus t by k. The same thing. So after that, the capacitance of a capacitor after introducing the dielectric slab, C is equal to Q by V. the fundamental equation of capacitance. Q is equal to CV, therefore C is equal to Q by V. Therefore, substitute Q here and substitute V value here in the denominator. That is equation 9, that is Q by epsilon naught A d minus T plus T by K we have substituted here. Then Q and Q will be cancelled. Epsilon naught A will go up. Epsilon naught A will go up. You will get epsilon naught A divided by d minus T plus T by K. So finally, this is our derivation. Therefore, C is equal to Q by V. Q by V means potential. Potential is Q by epsilon naught A d minus T plus T by K. Therefore, Q and Q are cancelled. Epsilon naught A will go up. Epsilon naught A will go up. And finally, you will get epsilon naught A by d minus T plus T by K. Then finally, we got our derivation for a parallel plate capacitor with a dielectric slab in between the plates. C is equal to epsilon naught A by d minus T plus T by K. So now this is our capacitor with the positive plate here, with the negative plate here, with the dielectric in between the plates. When there is dielectric in between the plates, we got the capacitance C is equal to epsilon naught A by d minus T plus T by K. So if the dielectric fills the entire space between the plates, then D is equal to D. So substitute in place of D, T, you can substitute here. In place of T, you can substitute D. It becomes D minus D, 0. This becomes D by K. K will go up. You will get epsilon naught A by D into K. But epsilon naught A by D is C naught. That is from our first third equation, which we have seen earlier. So this is our third equation. From here, we got E naught is equal to Q by A epsilon naught. And then this is our first equation. C naught is equal to epsilon naught A by D. So we have substituted our equation 1 there, not third equation, sorry. We have substituted our first equation there. C naught is equal to epsilon naught A by D, epsilon naught A by D in our last part, that is here we have substituted epsilon naught A by D is equal to C naught. Therefore, C is equal to K C naught, where K is the dielectric constant. Therefore, C is equal to K C naught. That means when you insert a dielectric between the plates of a capacitor, the capacitance increases by K times. The capacitance increases by K times. K is equal to C by C naught. K is equal to C by C naught. That is, K is equal to capacitance with dielectric between the plates divided by capacitance with vacuum between the plates. K is the main thing that determines the capacitance of a capacitor. K is generally greater than 1. Therefore, when you insert a dielectric slab like this in between the plates of the capacitor, its capacitance increases by K times. So this is our parallel plate capacitor with positive plate on the top, negative plate on the bottom, dielectric in between the plates occupying a space T. If it occupies the full space that is between the plates D, then you will get capacitance C is equal to Kc naught. That means capacitance of a parallel plate with dielectric increases by K times. So this is the advantage of inserting a dielectric slab between the plates of the capacitor. C is equal to Kc naught. Thank you for watching the video. We will meet in the next video with another derivation, that is capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor with a conducting slab in between the plates of the capacitor. Thank you for watching. God bless you all.